New race standards have been recommended by the Race Committee and approved by the AAVSB Board of Directors. These standards take effect October 31st, 2018 for all providers. Programs submitted under the 2016 standards do not need to be resubmitted until the program expires. Programs submitted prior to October 31st are still approved and do not need to be resubmitted. We listened to your suggestions and are excited to announce changes to the race standards to help streamline the process. These changes include consolidation of the race categories, clarification on speaker requirements, reformatting of the race standards document, making the standards easier to follow, a new provisional provider status, clarification on requirements for promotional programs, and a range of approved CE credits. Please note that program and provider approval requires agreement to all the race standards. Let's go into a little more detail in each of these areas. Consolidation of the race categories. Simply stated, we've reduced the number of categories from 3 to just 2. What used to be categories 1 and 2, scientific and non-scientific clinical, are now category 1, medical, and what used to be category 3, non-scientific practice management professional development, is now category 2, non-medical programs, practice management, professional development, and professional wellness. Any programs related to medicine or emerging medicine should be submitted under Category 1. If your program is related to the business management, wellness, or other aspects unrelated to the medical practice of veterinary medicine, chances are they need to be submitted under Category 2. Clarification of presenter requirements. The presenter of a RACE program is an essential part of having a RACE program application approved. A person is not RACE approved, certified, or accredited. Presenters are considered a part of the RACE program and are not approved by themselves. This has always been the practice of RACE. Presenter qualifications are outlined in Section 702 of the new RACE standards, including whether letters of reference are required. Presenters in the new Category 2, non-medical programs, practice management, professional development, professional wellness, must meet the requirements listed in Section 7.022. Individuals who do not meet the requirements should have 2 letters of recommendation from individuals who do. If there are multiple presenters for any RACE program, all must meet the RACE standards for presenters, and appropriate information on these presenters must be included with the application. The original author of the presentation must be identified and must also meet RACE standards as a subject matter expert on the specific subject matter. Providers must submit credentials for everyone presenting the submitted program. These credentials must meet the presenter requirements as listed above in Section 7.02. Next, we've reformatted the RACE standards document, making the standards easier to follow. The RACE standards have been reformatted to more accurately show the process flow. Also, a new provisional provider status has been added. Organizations who have not conducted a program but would like to work toward RACE approval may submit the provisional provider application. This new status allows new providers the opportunity to conduct a CE event before they seek full RACE approval. To be considered for provisional provider approval status by RACE, CE providers must provide evidence of their ability to coordinate and offer appropriate continuing education for veterinarians and veterinary technicians. This requires providing complete RACE program information, including program agendas, PowerPoint programs or course notes, presenter resumes or CV, and potential program advertisements. The fee of the first program offered by this provider will be included in the provider application fee. This status is approved for 1 year from the date of approval. Provisional providers may be converted to RACE providers upon completion of all the requirements and receipt by RACE of a letter advising the same. Better clarification on requirements for promotional programs. What was formerly listed as promotional programs can now be found under Programs Educating About a Product or Service in Section 6.01. A program educating about a product, service, or company may be considered for approval if there is a clear delineation between marketing and education. A program with scientific or clinical content related to a product should be presented in a manner useful to attendees who do not choose to use the product or service discussed in the presentation. A clear indication to participants at the beginning of the presentation of the relationships among provider, presenter, and the content of the program must be provided. Presenters giving the presentation on behalf of a commercial organization that also employs the presenter must provide a conflict of interest form in the application, and disclosure must be made to the program attendees. RACE acknowledges the need for corporations to use veterinary medical professionals as technical representatives to present programs specifically developed around a product or service. The presenter must be qualified in the subject matter so they can answer questions and direct the discussion in an appropriate fashion to achieve CE credit. This requires separate submissions of credentials for each individual presenting, which must meet the presenter requirements as listed above in section 7.02. Greater range of approved CE credits. The RACE program recognizes the emerging methods of delivery, such as podcasts and microlearning sessions. Now the RACE committee will accept programs as brief as 15 minutes. For more information on CE credits, view Article 4. We strongly recommend taking the time to read through the entire RACE standards document. The AAVSB RACE Committee has taken into consideration feedback from providers to improve communication between the RACE provider and committee. We hope these adjustments to the RACE standards will clarify what the committee seeks out of the program submitted for review. The AAVSB is committed to serving the veterinary regulatory agencies, our member boards, by providing quality, relevant programs and services that these boards can rely on to carry out their statutory responsibilities in the interest of public protection. Please visit our website, aavsb.org, and click CE Services to view the full RACE standards document effective October 31st, 2018. On behalf of the AAVSB Board of Directors, our member boards, the RACE Committee, and staff, we thank you for your continued participation in the RACE program. If you have any questions regarding the RACE program, please contact me, Jess Klein, Continuing Education Manager.